have, the most delightful time, because that's exactly what I believe what we up to with this channel. I'm so delighted to be able to literally work 24/7. I'm currently located in Brazil, but it could eventually be located anywhere in the globe. And, I can tell you that it's one of my targets, like one of my goals from this point forth, to see various different places in the globe. It's 3:54 a.m. right now. I'm super delighted to be here and just recording this. This is my best time, usually during the night. And knowing that I'm capable of coming here and doing it, recording it professionally, even though I'm in the apartment right now, I have everything set for a perfect and, well done session. Why not? And I believe that the same way I am capable of doing that, you are capable of doing that as well. And there's so many people out there doing so good stuff, literally delivering it on a daily basis. And I'm more than, capable of doing that. Kind of joining this massive group that's growing, continuously growing group of people who just decided, okay, I have a message to deliver. I'm capable of practicing on a daily basis how to deliver it properly, because it requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of thought. It's not just, clicking a record button and pointing the camera towards you and, imagining that everything's going to fall out perfectly. One of the reasons why I brought Draft Zero into place is to showcase that ability to myself, because I was the first and probably the only real person doubting that I could do all of this, that I could literally create an empire out of ashes or out of nothing. When I say out of ashes, because I actually have my own story, as you do. And it can be the most terrible one. I can tell you that we have nowadays what's uncomparable to any other era in human history. It's just first, the internet. We're capable of communicating globally, seamlessly. And then we have these audiovisual medium here, which basically gives us such a powerful way to communicate, because it can literally show. I can tell this is all storytelling at the same time. And I'm super delighted to be part of it. Super delighted to know that you are part of it, because you are the most important part of it. You, the one listening to it. Sometimes I think when I'm creating it, that even if there isn't anybody else but myself listening to it, I know that over the next year, 2, 3, 5, 10 years, I'll look back and I'll check the progress. And that's the most fantastic part, because when you come back, 2, 3, 5 years, and maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're just getting started today. And next week, you're going to look back and you'll see your progress. And I can tell you that's absolutely fantastic. I do it for that. For real. Because it's absolutely fantastic. And then you're capable of realizing that, you're so much more than you thought you were in the first place. Sometimes it happens a lot. Like, people from the outside, they're capable of seeing it in us, but we spend so much time struggling with what we don't really know and don't know how to properly acknowledge. So, yeah, it takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of courage to put these things into practice. It's pain, because it requires a lot of energy and time and space. Sometimes it's risky because you gotta, make decisions that will affect the rest of your entire life, your relationships. Small little steps to acknowledge who you are as an individual who possesses all these traits. Call it an identity, yourself. And you're so proud of it, even though there are several different ways of telling it, of saying it, that you're proud of who you are. Sometimes, if there are several people out there that are 100% sure there are two different sides in this game. On one side, you have people that are silently proud of themselves. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to acknowledge that, but they know. The other side, there are those people that are very loud about it. That they really want people to verbally acknowledge that, and they constantly do so. But I'm not pointing, I'm not judging, I'm not saying that one's better than the other. There's no such a thing. But it's just a spectrum. It could have been anything. And it's so complex to tell. I don't truly believe that separation is the actual equation. But multiplication, that's what we came here to do at the end of the day, to multiply the odds. And it's absolutely fantastic to come here after many years of, and there are not so many, because I know I'm just 27, and 27, times that I've been rolling and rolling around the sun, listening to stories and leaving my own stories and creating a constantly evolving knowledge of what it is or what it must be. And it's very interesting because we kind of create, and we have libraries for everything. Literally, you have libraries for everything. And very often you get lost, especially nowadays where information is everything. Kind of pay for it. And you see that it's natural for old people that are not, from the internet, they were not born or not, they grew like majority of their life without internet, for example. You see a little bit of resistance yet. And it's natural. Like, we're still kind of, even though everything is kind of already integrated globally, all over the globe, there's still skepticism because it's new. It's kind of new. Just like when you think of, artificial intelligence, for example, it's been a while that we've been producing stuff just like artificial intelligence has just gotten to the public's view recently. And it's very recent and it's very new. The possibilities of the possibilities, we don't know yet. We're still discovering. There's so much to work on. And I see that, there's many people out there, they're, a little bit intrigued by the fact that AI, is changing a lot. And it can cause failure in many different systems, including what sustains them, their family. And in some cases it's true, but in the other side, the industries themselves are kind of creating new spots for different types of people who are not really showing up to this point. And think of, the many possibilities of the possibilities when it comes to the human side of the connection on this conversation of evolution. And I see that as like, we're so capable of literally driving something as we've been like with the technology we've created so far. Think of technology forcing us to adapt to it. the stuff that we create kind of forcing us to adapt to it. So we can not just make better use, but to understand ourselves better. And I believe that it's exactly what we're doing at the end of the day, all the time. We're just producing mirrors to have a glimpse, if necessary. If it's the only possible, a little glimpse. That's what we're going for. So we can have a better view and a better understanding of who we are. Think how majestic that is. Well, I'm very, very proud to be here and, to have this conversation. I see these things evolving naturally towards a prolific and more progressive experience. And, the fact that we have renovations around the studio and everything, it's just like the fact that we're capable of coming here and just, elucidating these ideas and beautifully. I see that the creator in the universe wants us to literally go to the next level, to enjoy it, to acknowledge that next level doesn't need to be anywhere else, but where you are, right here, right now. Well, I'm really grateful for the opportunity of joining you guys, and thank you for being such a beautiful and beloved individual. Looking forward to seeing you guys next one. Bye-bye.